All right, so this is another video on the problem that I was having with the passenger side not changing temperature properly. It would either go all the way hot or all the way cold. So the last time I changed the actuator, which was behind the glove box here, and it still did the same thing after adding the new actuator. I decided to leave it in anyway. It's like I can't return electrical parts, so you might as well leave the new one in and just use the old one as a backup in case it ever fails, I guess. So I decided to go ahead and start wondering about this thing here, because there's two other things that control that actuator. You can control it from the screen, or you can control it from this. I think the screen is just a touch screen. It doesn't actually have like any brain to it or anything. I think this is what has all the electronics for controlling everything. So I went ahead and I started looking on, let's see, eBay, Amazon, Mopar parts online. And when I took it out, there was a part on the back, part number on the back. And I typed that into, of course, Mopar parts online, and it did not find a matching part for that. So then I figured, well, there's probably other ones that will work. And let me turn my light on here. It's starting to get a little dark outside. There's probably other ones that'll work. And I started doing some research. So on eBay, of course, there was only one that matched that part number. And then there's another number under the part number, which is, I think, some type of either programming or like software version number or something like that. And it's just as long as the part number, but doesn't have AA after it. So that one was different than mine. So I saw another one that was brand new, $49.99. Couldn't believe it. And I think it was like from Parts World or something like that on eBay. And so I called the dealer with that part number, and he could not find that in his system. And then I gave him my part number, and he couldn't find that. Well, he did find that one in his system, but he said it would be about $350, and it would be about 2 to 3 weeks to get it. They had to special order it. So it's either like, look, I spend $350 and order it from the dealer, or I can just chance it and spend $50 and order it from this one on eBay. Now there are like 10 different versions of this thing, and it's called the center stack. So it doesn't even really have like a technical name. It's just, it's a center stack. Okay, well, that's what it's called. Now what I did was I went on eBay and I kept looking until I found one that had all of the same buttons that I had. So, the AC, the one that changes the vents and stuff, the heated seats, the air conditioning, dual zone. Over here, we got hill descent control down here. And then we have, of course, your start, stop, turn it off, your mute and all that stuff. All that's over here. And then it has the starter built into it too, or starter switch built into it. So a week ago I ordered it. I got it in today. It's really easy to install. I think you need a 7/16, right? It was either 7/16 or 1/4 inch to get this plate. It's attached to this big piece of molding with a bunch of, like, I think it was like 7 or 8 little bolts. And all you do is you just take one of these plastic spoons. You can get these on Amazon for like $7, and they come next day, and just get it in there and just give it a pull. If it doesn't want to go, then just kind of move it down a little closer over to here, and you'll see it pops. Once it pops, just go ahead and grab it. I mean, it's going to sound pretty horrible, and once you grab it and pull it out, you just got to be careful with the starter over here, because the wire is not really that long. You'll see your part numbers on the back. So let me see if I can get this to focus here. So my part numbers are down here. It's upside down, of course. Let me turn it around. All right, here. Let's see if we can get the part number in there. All right, so that's the part number for the one I ordered. The part number for the old one was right here. And you can pause that if you need to see it a little longer. So I got it today. I came out here, you know, here's all the little screws that hold it in. You zip those out real quick. Pull the piece out. You got to transfer all these little white tabs over, and that was probably the hardest part of all of it, because you got to use a screwdriver kind of like on both sides of this white clip. You got to pry out both ends at the same time to get this little white clip to pop off. And I'm still missing one, as you can see right there. And I think it fell down inside of that hole when I pulled it out. So I'm not pulling all of this stuff out to get that one little white clip in there. It's probably somewhere behind the Sirius module or something like that. I don't care. So you put it in there, get it to where, you know, everything's bolted back in and all. You just gotta feed this cable back in a little bit to get it started, and then just kind of wiggle it so that the cable goes back in, line everything back up, and just push. Of course, this one doesn't want to line up right now. Okay, so it looks like there's one little clip on the bottom over there. You can see it down there below the starter switch. That looks like it has to go in first, which is going to be kind of difficult. Get that in there, and then, all right, we'll put that side in first. So I have it in now. So you just got to wiggle that little part in first right there, and then just give it a good push. There you go. It's back in. And, you know, after doing all that, I started it back up. I, you know, turned the one side up and the other side down gently in increments, and it did fix the problem. So if you're having problems with your dual zone, I would almost say replace this first, because this was way easier than replacing that actuator down there beside the media port. I would definitely replace that first. It's like I said, if you look at the part number on the back of there, if you have the exact same model as me with everything on it, then that's the part number you need. But like I said, there was so many of them on there, and each one had a different set of controls. Now, I mean, I would guess that you could probably buy this one if you didn't have all of that stuff, and it probably just wouldn't work. You know, like you just put on the heated seat button and this heated seat just wouldn't work. So I think that would probably still work, but only if you have the dual zone. If you have a Wrangler that does not have the dual zone, you definitely have to order one that does not have the dual zone controls. And like I said, all I really needed was this, this was, you know, of course, order a new unit. And I guess you'll never know if this one was actually bad or not, but it did fix the problem, so I guess something was wrong with this. And then you need some of these just plastic forks, and, you know, a cool pair of shades so they can, mosquito in here flying around. Yeah, cool pair of shades so you can look cool while you're doing it, you know, whatever. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it took me probably about a whole 10 minutes. I zipped it in, zipped the old one out, zipped the new one in. I used, of course, a little mini power tool to get the screws in and out pretty quick. They are pretty coarse thread, so I mean, like 4 turns and they're out. And like I said, I think it was 1/4 inch, and there was about 7 or 8 of them. You can probably go back in the video and pause it when I'm showing the back of the unit. Right here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of them. So there is 7 of them, and I believe that they're either 7/8 or 7/16 or 1/4 inch, one of the two. And it did fix the problem with the dual zone not working. So if you're having issues with your heat and AC, I would say go on eBay and not pay the $350, $400 that the dealer's going to want for this part, which I'm sure this one's made in China, and, you know, this one's probably made in China too. You know, most of the Mopar parts are freaking made in China these days, so they say they're genuine Mopar. Yeah, they're genuine Mopar in China. I don't really have a problem with any of that as long as it works and it stays working. And so far, all day today, when I was taking about a 55-mile drive up into Pennsylvania from Maryland, it worked perfectly. If you want to see more videos like this, just let me know. This is like the first issue I've really had with this JL. And to be honest, I think it was like this when I bought it. I just never really used the AC and heat yet. But when I did use it the other day to try to turn on my defoggers, one side was fogging up because it was getting cold, and the other side was actually defogging because it was blowing out hot. And that's the only reason why I knew that this was not working right. But like I said, I've never used the AC or heat before, so I think that it was probably like that when the person traded it into Carvana or Carvana bought it from, you know, whatever auction or whatever it came from. And then I believe I bought it that way. I mean, I'm sure they probably didn't even know there's anything wrong with it either. It's one of those things where you're not going to know until you use the heat and the air conditioning for quite a bit. But that is it. And like I said, if you want to see more videos like this, you can of course let me know. And always, you know, it's appreciated. Like and share, subscribe. So like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And there it is. There is my 2020 Jeep Wrangler Willis, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. To me, it's a Willis. And I'm going to get a video here soon of these tires. These are the Milestar Pagodas, I believe. And a lot of people kind of crap on them. You see, they are the SL369 ATs. Oh, they're Westlakes. I'm sorry. 255 75 17s, which is what came on this thing. I like to try to keep my Wranglers stock. Never really needed any, you know, big upgrades or anything to do some fun off-roading with them. I'm sure I don't do the rock crawling and stuff that a lot of people do, but she needs a bath. So here we have it, fixing the AC controls on a 2020 Jeep Wrangler JL, and I'm sure it's probably the same from 2012 until 2024. Like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next video. Thank you.